Hi, lovely people. Imagine paying a team of people to manually sort through thousands of customer service tickets when an AI could do it in minutes. This sounds crazy, and it actually is, because that's exactly what many companies are currently doing. And today we're going to dive into why businesses are still hesitant to embrace AI and why waiting another 5 years could be a very costly mistake. Okay, so the current state of AI adoption is like what people are doing and what we are doing since 2022. When I first found out about ChatGPT, I was so hyped that I went onto it and thought like, oh my God, within a few minutes of training, literally a few minutes of training, I could do the work what two of my employees were doing within a whole day. And I could do it within a few minutes. I just played around and I created all the texts or the copy which we need for our clients in order to make newsletters and in order to write email systems, follow-ups, and so on. And I could do this within minutes. So the first thing I did in 23 was creating a framework on how to use it. And then I just fired these two full-time employees next to the 7 or up to 7 freelancers we used from time to time in order to create copy for us and for our blog and for the blogs of clients and for the emails of clients and so on and so forth. So that was like the number one thing we used AI for, and it's amazing still, and it got better and better and better. And this was, I think, GPT-3. No, it was 3.5. I'm not 100% sure, but it was very early, or very early, like quote unquote. Anyways, it was end of 22 when we started this. And since then, so many other things came around, and so many agents are out there already, and so many programs are out there, or like SaaS products are out there, which you can use for a certain, to solve a certain problem, like data analysis, content creation, customer service, and so on and so forth. So we are building AI agents, which are chats on websites and on WhatsApp, which have the whole knowledge base and index all of the articles which are written by a brand on their blogs and so on and so forth, and like have medical data or product data for medical products, and they know how to respond, and they know it better and faster and 24/7 compared to a support person which needs to be trained and so on and so forth, and only can work for 8 hours a day maximum. So yeah, that's like these real examples of successful AI implementations, which are, I think, very important to know and to think about. And a lot of companies still, I think most people don't take time to actually play around with the technology and find use cases for themselves. But it's actually so easy, because you can nowadays, if you have somebody, so imagine you have somebody, you're a company and you have employees, and these employees are doing a certain task. So imagine you would get like ChatGPT or Claude. I use Claude most of the time because I like it most. But get a ChatGPT account or a Claude account, or use DeepSeek or whatever, and just tell this person, make a chat, make a conversation with this AI LLM, and find out how it can help you doing your work. So you could use the people which are currently working for you to find and create strategies on how they can be basically replaced by AI. But I think that's one of the biggest problems what companies are solving, that they don't take the time on thinking about how AI could benefit them. and what it actually can do already. So that's the thing. And the other thing, what I think that people tend to think about AI and agents and where it's going and so on and so forth, is that AI is super intelligent and can do whatever you want from it. But that's not true. Right now, so we create code, we create content, we create websites and so on and so forth, like design and so on and so forth. And we create software, and AI is like the dumbest thing you can ever have. It's so dumb, it's incredible. But on the other hand, it can do so many things if you brief it correctly. So the most important thing to learn, and that's the reason why I say, okay, just go in there, make a conversation, and understand how AI is actually behaving and how AI is interpreting your prompts, is you need to understand how AI is working and how AI can benefit you in a way that you can prompt it in a way that it actually gives you the output you want. So that's the thing. Like becoming this AI engineer, or like having a team of AI engineers which are basically prompting the AI in a way that you can use it. In the best way, you can use it programmatically, like in automation. So that's what we are doing at Automate This. We create these automations where AI agents get prompts like in a knowledge base, and this knowledge base is then fetched and is prompting the AI to do stuff. And this changes all the time. Like the agent gets more and more intelligent, and we try to understand, okay, what's actually necessary to not tell an AI or an LLM to create the best way, or to self-create the best way on how to solve a problem. So it's super interesting. And of course, this takes time. And the best thing would be like to have somebody who is just doing it for you, or who is just implementing it. So yeah, these are my thoughts on the current like state of AI adoption. And there are companies like Lovable, where you can spin up software within seconds. It's like if you want to create an MVP for some product you're thinking about, it's just like it's a few minutes and you have the product. You can actually put it on GitHub. So it puts it on GitHub for you, and you can then deploy it from there on your server, which is just incredible. It's unbelievable what's possible right now, and the speed of how quick you can go to market with something. Yeah, that's amazing. So why are companies hesitating right now? I think the biggest problem, and small companies have a huge benefit or advantage compared to large companies or enterprises, because you have so many people who fear of job displacement, and they have active employee pushback. So it's very difficult to an employee who understands that AI is going to take their job, like I don't know, for an accountant or a data analyst or a copy person who is writing sales copy, or a designer. These people, it's very difficult to tell an employee like that, like, hey, take a day off and like play around with ChatGPT and just make a memo on how we're going to use it in order to not pay our whole graphics team anymore, because who needs a graphics team anymore? Nobody. Basically, nobody. You need one AI engineer who can do the prompt and then like creates his graphics for you, and it's way quicker. You have more outcome and so on and so forth. So I think the biggest problem why companies are hesitating is actually they're not hesitating. It's actually very difficult to find somebody who is actually interested in doing this. So you can either get somebody who is especially like onboarded for doing that and finding solutions with AI instead of like having employees, or you change roles. Let your team change roles and evolve, and like, because everybody needs to start working with AI anyway. So the best way of like, I mean, I fired, like, we had 7 employees, now we have 2. So it's like, I think the best way is actually to have interested people and getting them involved, and like, talk to them and get them to understand that they will be replaced anyway. So you only need like product um, um, engineers or heads of product which understand the product and then be able to prompt some AI in order to create the product. So this is going to happen. It's going to happen like this, if you like it or not. So at least that's my opinion, and I see it in a lot of places already. In like, marketing is it's disrupted everywhere, and people are trying to hold on to their funnels. Nobody needs funnels anymore. It's like nobody is doing funnels anymore. It doesn't make sense, and people are just blind. And yeah, it's AI is going to change a lot. So I think this is one of the biggest problems, especially with large enterprises, that they don't know how to get somebody in to actually change everything. And the other thing is, in a small company, you can talk to your employees because you know them, and get them to change along with the whole company, and get better in AI and using AI and be more productive, and so on and so forth. I mean, we don't have so many employees anymore, and we make way more money than earlier, in gross margin and profit, which is just super cool, especially for me. So yeah, that's something really interesting. And of course, the initial investment concerns and like ROI uncertainty. So yeah, of course, if you get somebody on board who built something for you for tens of thousands of dollars or euros, it's of course this is uncertain. But I mean, paying your employees, like, if you have a support team of 25 people who are doing support for like email support and chat support, and you have like, I don't know, Rocket Chat or some Zendesk or some kind of support ticketing system. If you're paying people to do this, even if they are in the Philippines, it's still an ongoing cost factor. And the ongoing costs are very high. So let's say your average ticket is like $5. So it's going to cost you a lot if you have 1,000 tickets. Of course, you need to pay these $5,000. So let's say you have 1,000 tickets a week, then you have like this $20,000 cost of creating and solving these tickets for people, where 80% of all these tickets are just like simple FAQs. So you just need somebody to hold the user's hands. And AI is perfectly capable of doing this with very little training. You don't even, I mean, you can just prompt it to be called a name, and then hold the user's hands in order that they have somebody to talk to and rant about your software, whatever. So it's very easy to replace at least some of these people. So you would have only, like, instead of 20 employees, you can have just like 2, which are the key employees, where the AI agent can make the handoff to if there actually is a problem what the AI agent can't solve. So like banking, for example. Not yet. So banking stuff like this will come anyways too. So I mean, Amazon is just, it's the support has changed in the last 2 years. Their support has become so much better because AI is basically doing everything. Everything. You don't have regular people sitting there. You just get your money back, and it's so quickly because the AI just checks. Okay, is everything in place and is everything okay? What you're claiming. And if yes, it just does it. There is no human interference anymore, which is amazing. So yeah, you can do this as a tiny shop. You can do this for 10,000 euros of investment. You can have your own AI agent, fully trained, fully capable of how your support team has to create and handle tickets. and it's going to do it for you 24/7. There is no waiting time involved anymore. So this is something really, really interesting, but of course, ROI uncertainty. So usually if you have a team, if you don't have a team, of course, you don't need to think about it, because I mean, if you have like one ticket a month, who cares? Then you don't need an agent. You don't need to automate something what's where you don't actually have a framework on how to do it. So you can't even automate it if you don't have a framework yet. If you don't have training material for your support team, then how will you ever train an AI? But if you have something like this, you can train the AI very easily. So, and then it just can replace it. And usually it takes like 2 months and you have your ROI. And from there, you only make profit. So, which is amazing. Then the skills gap in implementing and managing AI systems. That's what I talked about before. I think the skills gap is large right now. I mean, it's all on YouTube and you can find basically everything, but it will cost you like hours, tons of hours, and you need to play around with it. So in my opinion, use a company. So of course, I'm speaking for myself here because we are this automate this agency and we help you creating these automations. But use somebody whose child played around with AI for the last 2 years and ask the child to help you with it. So I think you can find a pretty good footing using people who already did the stuff because they're just fascinated by it. And I mean, young people are not stupid. They really understand what's going on and they're going to disrupt everything. And if you are a really good designer, you are going to have no work tomorrow because somebody with 14 years of age is going to make a better job than you. That's the reality. So the skills gap. Then trust and reliability concerns, of course. How can you trust anybody? Yeah, of course you can't. Why? How? You need to find somebody who you just like and then you can try it. I mean, that's a problem. And wait and see. Yeah, sure. Let's wait. I mean, the fire, people who used fire and harnessed the power of fire were definitely going to be healthier, warmer, and so on and so forth, compared to the other tribe, which was afraid of fire and just said, okay, let's see if they burn. We are very happy that we didn't burn. But it's not going to happen like this. I mean, AI disrupted everything already. So if you're not on board, it's going to be a real problem. So I think that's something you shouldn't wait and see. You can see it already. So you waited already. It started in 22 and now it's 25. So you waited already 3 years and everybody is disrupting it. And maybe you lost your job because of that. So think about it. Just get into game. So AI is the thing. Yeah. Anyway. And the problem which comes with like wait and see is like the real cost of waiting, because you lose so much competitive advantage, not because you're not making sales during the night right now, but you lose a lot of competitive advantage because you don't learn from now on. So if you're waiting another week, another month, another year, you miss the opportunity to learn how to integrate AI in your business. And of course, you cannot like disrupt everything and say, okay, we're building the system and next month everything is going to be automated and different. It's not. But if you start doing it, if you have one employee working on your behalf and building, I don't know, let's do social media posts, because you can it's so simple to automate social media posts with AI. So if you have one employee like doing this for you, even though if it's not like fully automated, even though the person is only creating the copy with AI, this person is going to make 100 social media posts within 1 hour or within 30 minutes, and then put it into Buff or your planning program and post it from there. It's so fast. It's like unbelievably fast. We have freelancers. When I ask them, okay, how long do you need for like writing this copy? They're just like, yeah, like in a week. So, oh my God, are you kidding me? If you're writing a blog post, I want to have it in the next hour, it's gonna be like this. Because that's the truth. I mean, how slow can you proofread? That's the thing. You need to be fast in proofreading, and of course you need to know your craft. You need to understand what the person is doing or what the AI should do. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a clue about the topic you're writing about, of course you cannot do it. You need to if you are a pilot, you need to know where you find this particular island. If you have an autopilot and you cannot oversee the autopilot, of course you cannot find the island you're supposed to fly to. So that's the thing. You need to understand what you're doing, and then you can benefit from AI. So yeah, but the lost competitive advantage is actually exactly this. You need to start learning today and use it, and like let it answer your emails with some prompt, or yeah, create an agent and let it answer your emails, and don't even send the emails, just make drafts. And from there you can see, oh, it's answering everything in Japanese. I don't know why, but maybe your prompt was just saying that and then it just did it wrong. But you're starting to learn how to answer it and how to prompt it in order to get better and better and better answers. And as soon as you created this understanding what the AI is going to do and what the likely outcome is, then you can just let it do it and directly send the email instead of having a draft. Go into your account, look over the draft, rewrite, and then send it, which is quicker than just writing your emails and understanding, does this email even need an answer, yes or no? So I think if you start learning today, it's going to be better than tomorrow or next year. And high operational costs continuing with manual processes. Of course, you pay a lot for people or for yourself. You waste a lot of time, basically. If you're an owner, or if you're bootstrapping your business, like we bootstrap everything and we still bootstrap. If you're an owner, I tend to do so many things myself, especially since AI. That's the reason why I'm so bullish about agents, because it's not just an LLM, it's not just AI, it's not just ChatGPT, but it's only using ChatGPT or Claude or DeepSeek or whatever in order to solve some problem, like answering my emails on my behalf, and understanding, oh, this is actually an admin email which just tells me about, I don't know, some email couldn't be delivered. Of course, this email doesn't need an answer. I don't even need to read it. It doesn't really matter. I only need an alert, and I get it on Telegram on my watch, which is just super interesting. It's so helpful. But if you're an owner or somebody who is bootstrapping something and you spend a lot of your own time, I mean, this is like high operational cost, because your time is the most worthy asset you will ever have to do anything. So if you're reading emails, okay, go for it. Like 500 euros 500 euro an hour, or let's say you pay yourself 200 euros an hour. It's a lot for somebody who is reading emails. You shouldn't do that. So build an agent for that, or have somebody pay them $10 an hour to read your emails. And of course, falling behind in data analytics and customer insights. I think that's one of the biggest benefits of AI. It's not gonna screw you. So we created so many reports for our Mautic clients and our marketing automation clients, and we created so many reports for them, and we emphasized the difference between vanity metrics and real metrics which make a difference. Because nobody cares about how many subscribers you have. Nobody. It doesn't matter. The only thing what's necessary, let's say in email marketing, the only thing you really need to take a look at is how much did this email cost? So like respectively to how many people did you send it, and how many people worked on it, and like if you had like 2 texters working 2 weeks on this one email, oh my god, it's a really expensive email. Anyways, how much did the email cost, and how much did it sell? So these are these 2 numbers. I mean, there is nothing else you need to know about email. There is nothing else. It's generally marketing is like this. It's very easy. And the cool thing is AI is never going to screw you. AI is just telling you the truth. So if you put it on your database, or if you connect your database and you create an agent which is capable of doing SQL queries and querying the database, and then telling you, if you ask it like, how many emails did we send? How much did it cost? If one email costs $0.001, and how many people worked on this? If like blah, blah, blah. And how many sales did it make? Like these are the sales. And so you have these 2 databases. Let's say Mautic on one side, which is sending you emails. And on the other side, for example, WooCommerce or Shopify, which is getting all these clicks. And from there, you can see, okay, which click resulted in a sale. So then you understand. Or you just say, okay, at this day, we had such and such many sales. And of course, you can implement this in Mautic if you want. And we're doing this. But if you understand what's actually necessary, then you can create a system which can read only these numbers. And then you don't run around with like, oh yeah, we had such and such many people getting into our newsletter, and then we had so many people. So that's what marketers are usually doing. So you meet with them, and then they tell you some stuff about something which doesn't matter. It's just like vanity metrics. Nobody wants to talk about unnecessary numbers. And the best thing about this is you don't even have a dashboard. So at Christmas, I met some friends, and we spent like 4 days together. And he has a huge startup, and we were talking about, because we have this SaaS and they have this SaaS, and we were talking about what's the best thing you can have in user experience. Actually, what's the best thing you can give your clients in user experience? And the best thing is no dashboard. So no dashboard is the best dashboard. You only want to have a chat, and you want to ask, like, if I want to know how much money did my last newsletter make, I want to put this into my chat window and get a number. And this number should be correct, of course. So if I can have this user experience, I'm perfectly happy. It takes me like 1 second to ask, and that's it. And I get the number, and then I can go on. I don't need a meeting for this. I don't need to sit together with my marketers, or I don't need a marketing team. Okay, that's maybe like, because we're a marketing company, so maybe. Anyways, you know what I mean. It's. I think the best thing of AI is it's never gonna lie to you. And if you prompt it wrong, then it will do the wrong thing. But if you prompt it correctly, it's gonna blow your mind, and it's giving you only the truth, which is like super, super amazing. Okay, so yes, you're missing out on early learning opportunities if you are not starting to learn today. And the growing gap between AI-enabled and traditional companies is getting larger and larger and larger every day. And people who are even the plumber who doesn't have a website, which you can create with AI very easily, super easily. But even this plumber is gonna see a huge deficit in not using AI, because like in a year from now, almost everybody is gonna book their services with some kind of Siri or whatever. It's gonna be like, hey, I need a plumber to fix my tap in the guest bathroom. Please make an appointment. Find 3 plumbers, tell me the prices, and make an appointment with the cheapest one, or find, yeah. Anyways, so you want to prompt, people are going to prompt their assistant like this. And if you don't have a website as an electrician or whatever, you're going to miss out, because the AI agent cannot find you on the internet, and it cannot compare your prices, and it cannot book an appointment with you. So yeah, if you're looking for a business opportunity, and if you are an entrepreneur, you can build this and sell it to every plumber in your area, because everybody is going to use it and is going to need it. So I think this growing gap is like gigantic. Every day it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and people are starting to figure it out. Then they can let go like other people, or use their workforce for other things which are more important and bring more money. So the benefits of AI agents today is, of course, the 24/7 availability and consistent performance, which you can see in every AI agent-enabled chatbot. Go to our website, automatis.pro, use the chatbot, learn something about email marketing or whatever, or AI marketing, and the chatbot is going to help you. So it's available. It's available, and it's going to sell you something. So it's going to try to sell you something. I can tell you this. And the scalability without proportional cost increase. That's just like, you can send more and more and more and more and more people to your chat or to your support, because it's automated, and the AI it costs nothing. You only have these API costs to OpenAI or whatever, and it's so cheap. It's really, one support ticket is, I don't know, 2 cents compared to $5 before, which is unbeatable. It's so good. So you can create more traffic, which gets to your support, and so on and so forth. And of course, ability to handle complex data-heavy tasks. Yes, if you have an agent who has these different tools, let's say ability to query your database, ability to query the knowledge base, ability to query how many live agents are here and when they are here, and whom to meet when and what to do when, and like book an appointment, and so on and so forth. If you have this these complex systems in place, then everything is faster and seems effortless. Of course, you need to build it first, but yeah. And yeah, continuous learning and improvement. If you start doing it now, you're going to have a really easy life tomorrow, because you understand what you actually need. And then you can navigate easier through all these different AI agent SaaS businesses, which are going to pop up and which are going to sell the hell out of it and tell you, we can do everything for you, but actually you only need this, this, and this. And if you have some experience, you know what you actually need, and you don't need to buy the whole package. So, and integration with existing systems. Of course, if you do it now, you start to understand, okay, what do we actually need from our existing systems? And do we actually need, like, I don't know, the query tool for building super cool, super, like, I don't know, Looker Studio? What the fork? I'm a Sheets guy. I think tables are the best thing you can ever have, because it's only like a table and a number, and it gives you what you actually want. And I understand that people are graphical and they want to look at really nice charts and stuff, but it's so super unnecessary. But the cool thing is AI can do this for you. So if you have a database and you connect an LLM and you prompt it correctly, the LLM is going to put out a PDF with like the graphs and all the fancy stuff you want to have. But you don't need to have some data analyst blah blahs behind it anymore, which is super nice. I think it's so nice. Yeah, and of course, why start now? Early adopter advantages. So we're so early. There are a few companies using AI, and there are even less companies using agents, because an agent is not AI. It's a combination of like prompt tools and an LLM, like respectively an AI. So if you are starting now, you have this advantage of like being very early, being and understanding what's important and what's going to change your whole like experience and how you benefit best from using the different tools and the different techniques, and where you benefit most. Of course, if you have a personal blog, you cannot use AI to write your personal blog. I mean, it's the opposite. It's not personal anymore, and it's not a blog anymore if you use some tool to write it. It's like, I mean, you can proofread. That's something I like to do, but like a personal blog should still stay personal. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense to use it, so, or to read it. But everything else, go for it. Like, write your product descriptions with AI and make it consistent over all product descriptions and every product description. There is no reason why there is a store out there which doesn't have good product descriptions, which are understandable, structured, and so on and so forth. There is no reason. If you have a website or an online store with like bad product descriptions or no product descriptions, then you're just lazy. Use AI and just do it. If you don't want to do it, you can pay us. We're doing it for you. So, yeah. And then like building institutional knowledge. Exactly. That's like super interesting. That's in general in automations. As soon as you start automating something, you realize that you actually need to understand it on a different level. Like you need to understand the process on a different level than if you're only doing it like one at a time. And if you're doing everything yourself, then you don't need to automate something. You don't need to think about the bigger picture and how it's gonna be systematized. So if you productize or systematize some processes, you build like this institutional knowledge, which is so important, because then you truly start to understand if something you're doing is actually creating value, and if it's actually used, and in a way that it makes money for you. If it doesn't make money, or if it doesn't like create value for clients or somewhere in your pipeline for somebody, if it doesn't create value, then you shouldn't do it. And like building this automations creates this understanding of your whole structure you built in the last, I don't know, years, decades, centuries. Yeah, and then you have this employee training and adaptation period, where your employees need to be trained and transition into something else, into using AI, instead of sitting there and thinking about like the next marketing strategy and how we can go to market and blah, 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 and be super fancy and waste lots of money on coffee and donuts and meetings. I mean, it's just like, what meetings? Like, imagine you have like 10 people sitting in one meeting. The meeting costs like, how much? 1,000 euros? That's crazy. That's crazy. Why would you do this? Just use AI. It's gonna give you the whole thing, and then use your team to do it. So yeah, that's what you can do now. And then of course, market positioning and competitive edge. if you're doing it now and you are open to tell it to somebody, the right people will understand that it's better like this. So you don't want your carpenter to use a handsaw if he needs to create a perfectly straight cutting edge. You want your carpenter to use the best available tool to do this. So this understanding will come. And if you start now, you can at least say, hey, we started in 2025 to use AI, and we have gained a lot of knowledge, and we have built our institutional knowledge, and we know what actually is important. And we will not give you vanity metrics where you can chew on and understand after 2 months that you didn't understand anything because it was worthless. No, you can start like in 2025, we started using AI and built our first agents. And since there, we're constantly learning and improving our service to you, dear customer. So this is actually the thing which you gain if you start today. Yeah, so the question is not whether on using or adopting AI, but it's when you are using or adopting AI. And while many companies are waiting for the perfect moment, their competitors, like us, are already building the future. The best time to start was, of course, yesterday, and the second best is today. So go ahead, start using AI. If you need somebody to talk about this, if you need like consultancy, or if you need somebody to build your agents, just let us know. Yeah, and we're still doing email marketing. I mean, email marketing is not gonna go away for a long time. And why? Because people are very slow and people love email still. It's amazing. So I'm actually amazed by this. But of course, you can create an agent which is writing your newsletter based on your current bestsellers and current, I don't know, coupon codes and so on and so forth. You can do this fully automated, and you can create systems to not write this on your own anymore, and yeah, be in your language and in your tone of voice and so on and so forth. So go ahead, play around with it, and we see you in the next one. We see each other in the next one. Have a good time. See you then.